don't need that. Kung Pao chicken today on Keto Culinary. Alright YouTube, we've got about a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. And we cut those into roughly half-inch cubes, marinating in 3 teaspoons Shaoxing cooking wine and 5 teaspoons light soy sauce. And while that's marinating, go ahead and break out your trusty mortar and pestle that I'm sure you've got just lying around and roughly grind up 1 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorns. It's worth pointing out here that today we're making a Kung Pao chicken that is much more traditional and authentic to what would come out of Sichuan province in China, and not at all like what you would pick up at your local Americanized Chinese takeout place. So there's going to be more heat, the Sichuan peppercorns are going to have a slight numbing sensation in your mouth, and the flavor is going to be worlds better than your average takeout. And now that your forearms have gotten a workout that would make Popeye jealous, we're going to mince up about a tablespoon's worth of freshly peeled ginger. Now garlic almost always pairs well with ginger, especially in these types of dishes, and it's personally one of my favorite seasonings, not just for flavor, but also for health. So peel and mince about 6 cloves of garlic. If you're not as big on garlic as I am, feel free to bump it down to 4 cloves. Using kitchen scissors, cut up about 6 dried Sichuan peppers into half-inch pieces and remove the seeds. Now if for whatever reason you can't find Sichuan peppers, then use arbol or some other type of small dried red chili. But Sichuan peppers are definitely the more authentic flavor. Now, it goes without saying that if you're doing this the dumb way and not wearing gloves, like I am, then do not touch your eyes. And please be careful in the bathroom. Next, I have 6 green onions here, and I'm going to cut those into roughly half-inch pieces, as well as discarding the tough parts on the end. Now, typically, you would want to use scallions instead of green onions, but apparently, those have ceased to exist in the 20 square mile radius around this kitchen. So, we're using green onions today, and that's a perfectly fine substitute for this dish. Or, use 5 if it looks like you're getting a little bit too much. Remember, this is your cooking adventure. Cook it how you want it. And snag that sweet Instagram pic. And now for the tricky part. You're going to want to get your wok hot enough that it causes a light coating of oil to begin to smoke. Once you get to that level, turn off the heat and add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. Then add your chilies and your peppercorns, quickly stirring, and doing a better job than I am at not letting those chilies burn. There is an entire art behind cooking with a wok, and sadly, I'm still playing catch up to the short bus. Then, add your chicken and crank that heat back on. And once there's no more pink on that chicken, go ahead and add your garlic and your ginger, stir frying until fragrant. Then add about a 1/4 of a cup to a 1/2 cup of dry roasted peanuts and your green onions, and stir fry for about another half minute. Now the more peanuts you add, the more carbs can sneak in, and surprisingly enough, the more peanutty the final dish will end up. And lastly, we're going to add our sauce, which I somehow managed to not get the making of on film. Regardless, what it is a mixture of 2 tablespoons Chin Kiang vinegar, 1 tablespoon Shaoxing cooking wine, 3 teaspoons light soy sauce, 3 teaspoons swerve sweetener, a half teaspoon of sesame oil, and 1 tablespoon of chicken broth. And towards the end, I added a small pinch of xanthan gum to really thicken up the sauce so it more evenly coats all the ingredients. Alright guys, now if you like Chinese food, especially your more authentic variety, then you're going to love this dish. Because of the peppercorns and chilies, you may need to play around a little bit with the amounts on those, just based off of your own preference for spicy food. I do apologize for the mangling of any ingredient names that may have occurred in this video, but there is a full write-up of the recipe over at our website with a link below. Please be sure to like our video, subscribe, and hit the little bell button so you get notifications. Check us out on Facebook. We also have a Patreon as well. And please be sure to let us know what you think or if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks.